Hello everyone, welcome back to the series where I check out older raids, pretty much, soloing them, just to check out what they were like, raids I've heard about. For the record, if you're wondering why we jumped to this one, I checked out the ruins of Ahn'Qiraj. Nothing very memorable about it. I can understand now why I never hear anyone ever talk about this one, but this one, today, we are going to be taking a look at the Temple of Ahn'Qiraj, which features one of the old gods, Cthulhu. Now, there is also another boss here that I've heard is rather infamous, and because of this particular infamous boss, when I was deciding which character and class I wanted to do this with, I ended up deciding to do my Death Knight here, specifically my Frost Death Knight, because from what I understand, this boss required ice damage, otherwise you couldn't beat him, or rather it was extremely difficult. Alright, so now, there's a cool, unique thing about this raid, and that it grants you unique mounts that you can only use in this raid. What mounts am I talking about? Hold on, wrong one. No, not that one, not that one. These Karaji battle tank mounts. You get different colored ones here that you can get, but you can only use them when you are here in this raid. I find this interesting that they decided to go with this route. So I've gotten a few, because I went through this once with another character just to see what it was like and try it out before I recorded this. So I do find this interesting. It's not necessary, it's not required for you to use these mounts, because you can just use your own mounts if you want. But I just found that interesting that you could get a unique mount reward here that you could only be able to use it here in the raid. So it's a few mounts you can get, but it's for a one-time use. So here's our first boss, the Prophet Scarum. By the way, I actually heard about a crazy thing that some terrible players used to do. And when I say terrible players, I mean players that did something bad that Blizzard was like, you shouldn't do that. And that was cheating. Oh, look at that. See, I even got another thing that teaches me to summon that mount, which I don't need. So I'll delete that. But believe it or not, the final boss is right below us. And I actually found out that there was an exploit that some people would do. They would literally go into the code files, like the way, how you mod games, you go in there and you mess with the files and the coding and all that. Well, some players would actually go into the files of the game and they would alter it so that you could go through the floor and just go straight to the final boss and skip like the majority of the raid. Well, Blizzard pretty much dropped the hammer on them, saying, you can't do that, and I think they got a ban or something. I don't think it was a permanent ban, but it was a pretty hefty punishment. And it's like, wow. I couldn't believe that people were actually willing to go in and change the files of the game just because they didn't want to bother going through the whole raid and get to the final boss. They wanted to cheat. It was like, wow. I was like, just like blown away by that story.
Are you so eager to die? I will do nothing to accommodate you.
I don't have a target.
Okay, this is a little weird.
Target.
There we go. It was a tad bit confusing, but we took him down. Pretty much like Mysterio. Greater Scarab Coffer. The Karaji Lord's Insignia. So if we find a coffer in here, I'll be able to unlock it with that key. So now we head inside. And I do like the fact that this is one of those raids that you can actually go ahead and mount up. It makes going through it a lot faster, which is a good thing. Oh, wait a minute. Where's that go? Oh, that's right. If you were doing quests and such. Brood of Ahn'Qiraj, Malagos, and Ysera? I can never remember how to pronounce that. But if you were actually doing the questing in Silithus, which I suppose would then lead you to, like, go do this raid? Now you can see there's Cthulhu, but we can't get in there yet. We have to go through the other bosses first. So I gotta go through here in order to get to a level below where Cthulhu is. In order to get to the other bosses. That's the Vault of Cthulhu. The Hive Undergrounds. This is where we are really heading. To some of the other bosses that are down here. Alright, so let's see. The first one is... Well, we already did the first one. The next one is Silithid Royalty. So it's not necessarily one particular character. So that's a Greater Scarab coffer. So we can open that with the key we got. Which got us... Idol of the Sage, which are only usable by other classes. Alright, so let's head in here, find the Silithus Royalty. The Princess and Lord. Of course, my Death Knight, I can just activate my AoE damage and just wreck them. Whoa! Knocked me up in the air. Alright, there we go. Let's see. A ring. Cape of the Trinity. Another coffer key. Enchant Cloak Stealth. Permanently enchant a cloak. But you would need Outland Enchanting, which I don't have. Alright. So now... Let's see. Who's considered the next boss? Whoops. Wait, why did it go to dungeons? Next we have Battle Guard Sartura, who is that way. So we will head to the left. So it looks like we'll head back up this ramp and then go out through that other doorway we saw earlier. You know what? Just because this is going to be the only time you'll ever... I'm not even clicking the right icon. Oh, hello. Okay. What? What happened to my filter? Wait, what? Why isn't it showing the other ones up there? What happened to my filter? It got really weird. Alright, here we go. Let's just grab... Let's use the blue one. Kind of goes with my look and such. Not necessarily a great mount. At least not, I don't think so, but... Hey, it's a mount you can uniquely use in here, so may as well use it. Since you can't really use it anywhere else. Nope, can't go through there. Let's see. Ah, there you are.
It's too far.
Ooh. The Creeping Vine Helm. What's the appearance like? It's alright. It is cool to get new stuff for transmogs, but I would hope that they would look a little cooler. I'm sure some like that appearance. It's alright. For me, anyway. This is, of course, a part I absolutely loved. First time I went through this. Look at this. Ugh. Oh, this is horrifying. This is not pleasant. Well, hey, at least I'm not aggroing them yet. They're just letting me go by. They're like, you're riding one of those, so we don't mind. You can go by. We won't bother you. Okay, sure, whatever. Oh, no! I got dismounted. Oh, never mind. They didn't bother. They are really ignoring me. Huh. Last time, they were all over me. This time, they're like, we don't care. Is this the next boss? Yes. Vanquish the Unyielding. Alright. Sartura's Might, Cloak of Untold Secrets, Fetish of the Sand Reaver. It's a trinket. Alright, and now we have gotten to the point I was referring to that is rather infamous. This next boss, Visidius. Let's see, whoops, wrong way. Apparently that was enough to get dismounted. So, from what I understand, the reason that a lot of people hated this boss was because, well, as you can see, this boss is made of kind of a slime. And the idea that Blizzard wanted you to do was you needed frost damage to put it in a case of ice. And then you would shatter the ice in order to finish it off. Like this. Apparently, you had to do this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do enough damage in order to defeat it. So you had to make sure that you had frost damage in your group. Otherwise, you were not going to be able to pull this off. Now, you can see this is taking a long time for me to finish. Once it's like... It's like, hello? Are you going to die yet? Notice how long this is taking me to defeat. It's like I'm using so many different kinds of cooldowns here just to try and defeat this thing. Look at this. You see this? You see how long it's taking to try and defeat this thing? Look at this. He has no health, and yet I can't defeat him. Can you imagine? And this is at a level where I can easily solo many bosses in this. And yet, this boss will not die because... Well, because. Can you understand or see why a lot of people absolutely hated this boss? And this boss was optional, so guess what? A lot of people didn't even bother going against this boss. They just skipped it. Because they were like, we do not want to deal with this boss. Nope, we don't want to deal with this. Look how long this is taking me to solo this boss. This is absurd. This mechanic is kind of stupid. It really is kind of stupid. Look at this. It is taking me forever to try and beat this guy. I am, like, using everything, and he will not die. I keep freezing him, and yet he won't die. frost damage every 3 seconds. Frost damage taken from Death Knight's abilities increased by 15%. Look at this. This is absurd. I can't seem to defeat him. He has no health, and yet I can't defeat him somehow. Can you see why everyone hated this boss? Let's see if I can just go ahead and leave, because I'm kind of fed up with this boss. I thought because I was using frost damage, I could be able to take the time to defeat it. Nope, apparently not. Apparently not. No matter how much I freeze it with my frost damage, because I'm playing a Frost Knight specifically for this, he just won't die. He won't die. This optional boss will not die. It makes it feel like that is actually the toughest boss in this raid, when it really is not. Or rather, it really should not be, but yet it is. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. It feels like an unkillable boss. And if you're playing a class that does not do frost damage, good luck. I thought because I was playing my Frost Death Knight, that would let me do it. Apparently, that does not make any difference at all. It's crazy. So anyway, let's move on. The next boss is Princess Huhuran. Who is... Let's see, where is she? Where are you, princess?
I need a target.
I need a target.
I don't have a target.
I don't have a target. Alright, where are you? Oh, you're up ahead. You're not even in this room. I thought she was in this room. Nope, she's in the next room. Okay. You would have just had to deal with all these stingers just to get to her. You know, all the ads, trash. There she is. There's the princess. Come to me, princess. Let's see. Gauntlets. Bindings of Dominance. But only specific classes can use that. Alright. Next up, we have a boss that I actually considered using my Warlock to do this because I found out from someone who I have been checking out some of his videos. And if you're into, like, WoW when it comes to top level play in terms of mythic rating and such, or from someone who's been, if you want to hear from someone who's been playing this game since the days of vanilla and onward, and is a very passionate player for World of Warcraft, I highly recommend you check him out. It's Preach Gaming, who he's been making some videos about the legacy of very certain parts in WoW to go over their history since the days of vanilla, whether it was how you quested and leveled in vanilla, how you did raids in vanilla, how PvP was in vanilla, the legacy of certain classes, like how certain classes were in vanilla all the way to a certain point in time. Oh, hold on. Let me finish before I enter here. And so, in his video about the legacy of the Warlock, he talked about how in this particular raid, the aspect of whether or not a Warlock could be able to do something such as tank actually came into play against this particular boss next because of a certain mechanic. And they could do it well, from what he says. if you want more info, I highly recommend checking it out. The Master's Eye. Cthulhu?
You will die.
Only flesh and bone. Mortals are such easy prey. Why are there manners, brother? Let us properly welcome our guests. There will be pain. Oh, so much pain. To Emperor Twins. Come, little ones. The Feast of Souls begins now. But yeah, that you will die. That was Cthulhu's voice.
It's too late. Survive another way.
AoE damage! Come at me! Come at me, bro! Let's do this! Let's do this, come on! Alright! Stuff per twin. That's very nice. Whew. More Outland enchanting. The Royal Scepter. Summon a living Anubis. Ooh. I never got that before. Hey! Oh, it's a new pet. Oh, that is hilarious. Huh, an Anubis idol as a pet. That's cool. So that's one of my favorite reasons why to do some of these older raids. Like I got this for Blackwing Lair, Chrominius. So that's a new pet I have. I need to get back to working on my pets. Like I've hardly done anything with pets because I have some really cool pets I would love to level up and such. To be able to get some of the other bear ones. But that's a cool new pet to have there. I'll add that to my favorites. I wouldn't mind using that to fight. I got another one of these. I'll delete that. There we go. I already know the green one too. I believe there's a red one you can get. I just haven't gotten it yet. A gold scarab. Alright. So, next up is Oro. I think I've heard some interesting things about this boss as well. I don't remember if they praised this boss or if they disliked. I think they liked this boss. I'm thinking about the people I've heard who actually did the raids back in the day. Who like have more first-hand personal knowledge about what it was like doing these raids back then compared to me. I think they did praise Oros as a really good raid boss, and it's supposed to be the second, the last one you faced before going to find Cthulhu. So let's see if we can get to Oros here and see how that goes. Let's see if I can be able to avoid aggroing everything in this room. Oh, nope, nope.
Target.
Oh well. Doesn't really matter that much. Oh, top of target. Oh, top of target.
It's too far away. I can't carry
Oh my
any
goodness,
more of
so
those.
many of the green mount.
I can't carry any more of those. I
Can't carry any more of those. Oh man, it keeps giving me these mounts that I already have. If it gave me the red one, I would love that, but does not look like it wants to give it to me. I mean, look at that. There's 3 green ones there. That's pretty funny. Alright, he should be right in here. Oros. Oh, you're under the sand. Ah, right here. Oros. There you are. Oh. Ooh. Uh-huh. Alright, so now up ahead is where we'll be able to go up to the Vault of Cthulhu. Up next, the old god himself, Cthulhu. An Anubish warder. Oh, come on. Really? Really? Again, more of this mount. And I'm pretty sure I can't even, like, sell these. So it's not like you can farm these for lots of money. Man, this raid just loves to give these out. I wish getting some of the other mounts were as easy as it is to get these. Can you imagine if it was easy to get Invincible from the Ice Crown Citadel raid as easy as this? Or the Phoenix mount from Kael'thas? Or the Flaming mount from Rag? Oh my goodness. Everybody would have them. Anytime I see somebody with one of those, I get so jealous. Pretty sure. Yep, here we go. The Eye of Cthulhu. Oh boy. Okay. He looks a little different now. Oh, whoa. Okay. I'm inside.
I need a target.
Down. I need to get out of here. Whee! Here we go. And you get a quest for this to take the eye to somebody in the temple. Yeah, why not? Let's see. We also got some gauntlets. Oh, they're called Dark Storm gauntlets. They actually don't look that cool. I thought they were going to look much cooler than that. Feel very disappointed. Carapace of the Old God. Soulbound. And it's only meant for other classes. That's just great. Alright, so that person's right over here. Hello. Here's the eye. Huh. At the Caverns of Time. The Cloak of the Fallen God. I mean, I'm not necessarily wanting to equip that, but do I not have that transmog? I honestly don't remember if I think I do, so nah. No, because I think I did that the first time I was here. Alright, so that is the Temple of Ahn'Qiraj raid featuring Cthulhu, which obviously looked much easier to do now when you're able to solo it, but from what I understand, able to give me some reputation, was one of the tougher bosses to do back in the day, but some think it wasn't that he was overpowered, he was just overtuned and kind of buggy. But just the idea of having the remnants of an old god. It was obviously that wasn't him at his full strength. That was like just his eye, like just like a small sample of his power. Which who knows if we'll ever get to fight the actual Cthulhu at his full strength and power someday in a future expansion. Because hey, we could have an old god expansion at some point coming up in the future with some of this stuff that's been going on in BFA. But anyway, that is it also for the raids listed under Classic, even though there were a couple of others that actually were part of Vanilla WoW back in the day, but then were taken out and brought back later, specifically in Wrath of the Lich King, like, not Obsidian Sanctum, where is it? Oh, Onyxia's Lair. Onyxia was the first ever dragon raid boss that we had in the game. She used to be part of Vanilla, and I guess they took it out and redid it and brought it back in Wrath of the Lich King. Same thing with Naxxramas. Naxxramas used to be part of Vanilla WoW, and it was taken out and brought back in Wrath of the Lich King. So we'll check those out at some point later on, but obviously once we get to the Wrath of the Lich King. But up next, we will be shifting from Classic WoW to the Burning Crusade. Karazhan, I'm a little confused on, because the first time I was trying it out, it seemed I got kind of lost or confused on what I was supposed to do, or how to progress in that to get to a certain boss or something. It seems a little long and confusing to me anyway. I'll have to kind of look up a guide on like what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to go through it. Now, as I've said before, certain raids we won't bother with, like Gruul's Lair, 2 bosses, not really worth it. Magtheridon's Lair, not worth it. Serpentine Cavern though, or Shrine Cavern though, with Lady Vosh. That is one we might do. The Eye, we are definitely going to do that with Alar and Kael'thas. The Battle for Mount Hyjal, I think would be cool for nostalgia, though I haven't heard good things about the raid. I think some people did not like this raid, actually. But it is kind of, to go back in time and relive that nostalgic moment from Warcraft 3 would be fun. Of course, the Black Temple. We will definitely do that at some point with Illidan. And then, of course, the Sunwell Plateau with Kil'jaeden. So coming soon, the raids of the Burning Crusade, which for some people is their favorite expansion ever. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that.